Hey everyone, it's Michael. I'm going to tell you my story, my battle with addiction. So, now, because of my addiction, I'm only 35. I have so many medical issues now because of it. I wasn't thinking of the consequences at the time. I, I have brain damage, memory, bad memory issues. Like, me and my wife will talk, and then 5 minutes later she'll ask me a question about what we just talked about, and I can't even recall the conversation happening. In my mind, I could swear up and down we never spoke. We didn't have that conversation, but we did. And I'm only 35, guys. This addiction really hurt me. It really did damage. So I've been 8 years sober. Thanks to my wife, I feel like she is the one that saved my life, because 2 weeks prior to meeting my wife, I was broke, dead broke, because of my addiction. And my wife wanted to come over and hang out. She wasn't my wife at the time. We weren't even dating yet. So I said, yeah, come on over. And I was like, oh man, like, I was struggling with withdrawals because it's been 2 weeks. But when my wife showed up, when we started talking, I noticed she was different than every other female that I've ever spoke to, dated, been with, whatever. She was different, and I knew like something was special about her, and I didn't want to lose her. So I cold turkey, without any help, stopped doing what I was doing. And it was the hardest part of my life, I feel like. But I'm so thankful that my wife happened to come into my life. I feel like God put her in my life to save me, because I don't know how I'm still alive to this day. I really don't. So my addiction started. I was a really smart kid growing up. Right out of high school, went straight into the military. Had a really, really good job because of my academics and my knowledge, and I was just very, very smart. Had a security clearance, very high security clearance, and was eligible for the highest one you can get in the government. So you can't be, I guess, not smart and get that clearance. So sorry if I guys struggle with some of my words. It's just because my brain has been damaged, but I want to tell my story. I want to be able to maybe save someone else's life by telling my story. So I was extremely smart. Started doing college, was doing great. Years went by, then I started dating this girl. I didn't know at the time she had an addiction. Her addiction was pills for pain. And she ended up getting me, it was after the military, I was already out. She ended up getting me addicted. Well, she didn't do it. I got myself addicted by falling for that trap. Like, I was like, oh, one time won't hurt. To experience it, I guess. And that one time turned into a few days a week. Then it turned into every day of the week. And I was working, she was working, and we were still struggling because our addiction was taking all our money. And it was hard, but at the same time, I didn't care at the time, I guess, because the addiction was getting to me. All I was worrying about is the next time. That's what That's what I kept thinking about. And I wasn't thinking about any consequences. Even though I was super smart, very intelligent, I didn't think of what could happen. So after popping them for, I don't know, a year or so, you build up a tolerance. Well, when that tolerance built up, it led to snorting, and once did that a bunch, but then somehow it quickly escalated to smoking them off of aluminum foil. Not the smartest idea, the dumbest thing I could have done. This whole thing was dumb, but I was hooked. I was hooked. Like, I did it so much. I don't know how I'm alive right now. I really, really don't. Because the toxins and all that are in the aluminum foil, and even just doing snorting stuff goes right up into your brain, and then smoking, all those toxins going up into your brain, the toxins off the aluminum foil itself, it lasted for years. But then we ended up breaking up because addiction got in the way, and she blamed me, I blamed her for where all our money was. It was both our faults. But then like a year or two later, I met my wife. Well, she wasn't my wife at the time. She was someone I knew. She came over to hang out, and I was like, wow, man, she's different than every other female I've ever been with. Like, there's something very special about her. And I was like, man, I have an addiction issue. I can't just tell her about it. And 2 weeks prior was the last time I did anything, because I was broke. I had no money to go out and buy anything. So I was going through withdrawals when I met her, but I hid it as best as I could. It was hard. She never knew. But I quit because of her, because we ended up dating, and I quit because I did not want to lose her. I felt like God put her in my life for a reason. She was someone I did not want to lose because of my addiction. So I battled it. It was rough. I hid it from my family, my parents, my sister, everybody. I hid it from everybody. I didn't want people knowing about my addiction, and people look down upon me and be a disgrace to the family. I had all those thoughts going through my head. But over the course of the years we ended up getting married, and then I had some medical issues that started showing up. Then as time went on, over the course of 8 years, I'm 8 years sober now. I can remember that part because I know how long I've been with my wife. My wife made me download this app, and it tells us like how long you've been together, and so that kind of helps me keep track of my sobriety. But long story short, I kept having medical issues. They kept coming up, like they got worse and worse. It was one thing after another. And I couldn't understand what was going on, because I was always so healthy, and I didn't understand. My memory started going, like it was just getting worse and worse. And then it got to the point where I can't work. because I can't remember what my bosses tell me to do, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm trained to do. I forget it all within minutes. Um, and so I kept trying to find a job, and then it just wouldn't work out, because just wasn't at my best like I used to be able to be. Um, so now my memory is so bad, like when my wife has a conversation with me, 5 minutes later, in my mind, we never had that conversation. I could swear up and down, like we did not. I feel like she's lying to me, saying we had a conversation that we did have, but in my mind, we didn't have it. And so she would argue with me, and I would be arguing with her, and finally I was like, man, I need to tell her. I just need to tell her. And so I decided to tell her about my past and my addiction, and I found out through some research on why I was having so many medical issues, why my memory is going very rapidly now. It sucks, but I couldn't hide it no longer, because I'm such in a bad spot medically. I can't hide it. So I went ahead and told my parents. It was mainly just my parents and my wife. Then I ended up telling my kids, so they understood what was wrong with their dad. And it was hard. It was hard to tell them that. But I told them I was 8 years sober, though. I can go take a test, and I'll never do it again because of the consequences that I realize now. What's all going on now is because of my past. All that damage it did, it just gets worse and worse. So now I'm at a point where I don't know when I'm going to start forgetting people. I don't know when I'm going to forget who my wife is, who my kids are, because my memory is going at a it's drastically getting worse quickly. So now I'm seeing doctors and stuff, and just trying to stay positive. But I feel like God's calling me to help people, because I lived the life of being an addict. I did some stupid stuff that now I can see what all the consequences that those moments had on me now. Like it's hard. It's very hard now. So I want to be able to start this channel to reach other people, to tell them my story, and maybe give them hope that you can get sober. I don't want them to be like me. If I can save a life, that would mean the world to me. But if you guys want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button for me, and I'll post daily. Give you guys daily updates.